for GJ and then go up because it broke 129. Now it's going up.
Yes, if it closes back in the range, it will be a fake out.
Yep.
Yeah, so that would be great now. That would be great because it had a support here. If this closes back in, perfect. The next 30-minute candle, I'm going to take a buy. Then we're going to go up.
Yeah, I'm out of that trade. Small loss.
Gold is ranging. Everything is mostly ranging right now. GJ is ranging. EJ is trying to go down. I don't like nothing today. Could be a sit back and relax day today. The only trade that I'm looking at that I might be taking would be GP CAD buys. What's this? Hello, good morning. Why almost everything ranging since like yesterday, excluding gold, obviously, talking about AU. I think you're looking at too many pairs. When I say GP CAD buys, because GP CAD is ranging here, if this candle closes higher than the previous ones, then we have a potential to continue going up to this area, and that area is what? Not that far away, 40 pips. If you look on the daily, that's the daily wick fill, right? I think if it's bullish, the daily wick can get filled, because if you look left, that's also a zone. It's also a support area. 4 hour created support, 1, 2, 3, 4 times created support. Couldn't break support, so it should go to the resistance. 1 hour also bullish, 30-minute bullish. So probably gonna wait for this to close and then take buys on GP CAD. Needs to break above here too. So gonna sit back and hunt this trade. YouTube audio library. YouTube audio library has the most retarded shit songs ever.
Good morning.
Hey Vincent.
What's going on, Raja?
Oh man, you know, I'm hunting GP CAD.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I'm hunting GP CAD buys.
Maybe I should hunt it with you.
Yes.
Okay.
Seems like a good idea.
Yeah, it looks very bullish. It's moving.
So the GP CAD 30-minute candle is a bit more to go. Let's say 30-minute closes below the previous candles. Let's say the 30-minute closes below current candles, but the 1 hour does. Will you take it? Question mark. See, that's what you just wrote there. That's a lot of overthinking. I don't overthink. I see what happens. So if something happens the way I like it, I'll take it. Like, I'm not gonna sit back and think, oh, what if this happens or what if that happens? Then no, I don't do that. So one thing is, you need to stop creating situations in your mind, right? Because if you see prices moving down, and then you can't say, oh, what if it closes like this? What if it does like this? You just have to wait to see how it closes and then make a decision. Because once you start overthinking, then you can't really take a trade. Because overthinking helps nobody. So you need to overthink. You need to think in the present, what's happening now. I see Euro JPY falling. Will I take a sell? No, I'm not going to take a sell. Because if I see that, okay, maybe my sell was after this candle here. So maybe this was the move I should have taken, but I missed it. You know, what do you do when you miss a trade? You just miss a trade. It's no problem. You know, so now when you look left, when its price is moving down, you look left, you see where it can head off to. You're like, okay, maybe this is the support where it can head off to, right? So if I take a sell, over here, you know, how big is this range? 6 pips. Is this worth it? No, not at all. It's not worth it at all.
People have to understand trading is like a sales job. Some days there's a sale to be had where you knock on the door and you get the sale done, and other days you just keep knocking on doors and there's no one answering.
Yeah, it's the day. Today you knock on the door, you're like, are you the homeowner? And everyone say, no, we're renting.
That's right. I think people have to get used to the fact that you have to show up every day to work, but there might not be work to be done. And that will get you in a proper mindset, because people are looking to make a trade every day as if they don't trade today, they've failed, and it's not. That is not a failure. That is you preserving capital. The idea, once again, and you should write this down on a piece of paper, is capital preservation. How can I make the most amount of money risking the least amount of money? That is your mantra for the rest of your life. If I cannot make money today risking the least amount of money, then there is no money to be made, because the risk is not worth the reward.
Here you go. Word of the day, capital preservation.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, no trade is a position. I think a lot of people forget that being observant in the market and saying, hey, there's not an opportunity here, that is a good trade. Because what you've done is you've recognized that there is not an opportunity, instead of trading and then having the opportunity go negative and then you sitting there saying, oh, I wish I hadn't done that. So some days it's good to say, hey, I didn't do it, and I watched the market go the wrong way, and I watched people get slaughtered.
And it was a fun time watching people getting slaughtered.
Yeah, I actually enjoy watching people lose money, because I tell them not to lose money and they still do it. Like, people need to just be smart with their money.
DJ is going to die. Holy.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Daily banners. GU means GU means GBPUSD. Damn, someone is living on the edge.
Yeah, DJ looks a little messy.
Let's see what's happening here. There's no news. There's nothing happening. Oh, there's some unemployment yellow folders. $9.20. What's this? $8.18. Investors see Carney leaving BOE. Oh wow, with a bang. Okay, more downturn for the GBP.
Yeah, bang.
Yeah, Carney leaves. Oh, Dunzo.
Yeah, I'm trying to put another 1.5%.
Yeah, Carney's trying to leave. Can GJ? Because GJ has a range to go down till 128,800.
Yeah, how many pips is that?
That is 10 pips, I don't like it because stop is going to be bigger.
Yeah, bigger stop loss.
Raja, stocks down, gold up today. What do you think? Carney leaving, boom. I don't think nothing about that. Because I woke up, I scanned through gold was at support, scanned through GJ was above the previous 30-minute candle, EJ is ranging, I missed the move, so obviously not ranging now, and everything's ranging today. So sometimes when you wake up, you get a trade, you call it a day. Sometimes you wake up, you get consolidation, and you just do nothing. So I can assure you the trades you think are going to happen, they will not happen. And I'm going to go get myself a watermelon right now. Gold is going down. I shorted on the 4-hour time frame.
No, who's it?
Gold is at support. Gold is at support. I don't know why are you doing these dumb decisions. I'm sorry to say dumb decision, but gold is at support. Look, it's support.
People are going to short gold. This is one of those conversations I have with everybody is
Every day.
the fact that just because one day is bearish doesn't mean the trend is bearish. And you're playing with fire. If you want to trade against the trend, so be it. But just be aware at any given time, though, the market can flip on you because the structure of gold is bullish. So these are bad habits to get into as a trader, is to counter trade the overall trend, and then you turn around and think that you're a hero because it dropped when it needed to be. At the end of the day, if the trend is bullish and we have one day of bearish movement, that is not a time where you will, you can continue that move. Because the whole idea behind trading, and this is something that I employ when I trade, is I want to be on the side of the trade that if the market was to continue to move very, very hard, I would not have to worry about where we're going to turn around, right? So with gold as an example, if I was to trade gold today, there's no trade for me because gold is going down, right? We can see that it's going down. The reason why there's no trade is because I don't know how far down gold will go because there's no information out there in the market to tell me that there has been changes in why gold has been going up, right? So we know gold has been going up because there's instability in the markets, tariffs, yada, 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 a whole bunch of fundamentals. Today, being Thursday, we have not heard any information to the contrary to the current information that's out there. So let me repeat that again. Tariffs have not been changed. There has not been any change in the overall economics of what we have in the United States. So therefore, there's no reason for me to change my bias. The fact that the market is pulling back is just a breather for it to continue on its way. So you as a trader have two decisions to make. You can turn around and say, hey, I want to counter trend this trade and I think I can catch gold dropping, and you'll catch 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pips, whatever you're going to catch. Or you can say, hey, wait, I can let the market drop all the way to wherever it needs to drop. And when it finds that magical support where I can look left and say, hey, now we're going back in trend, I will just get a better entry for a buy. So I can be nervous trading a sell today with gold and hoping that it goes to 1490 or 1493 or whatever magical number I think, or I can just watch the market and enjoy gold dropping and then say, hey, look, now I can take a better entry for a buy all the way back up. And we can see with gold right now, the high point of gold is like 1508, 1510. So now I can ride that all the way back up. So that would be a better opportunity for me than trying to guess where gold will stop going down. That's my opinion. You don't have to listen to it. But for me, I enjoy trading where there's no stress. And I don't have any stress when I trade because I look at what is the optimal opportunity. Not, well, because gold's dropping down to 1490, I can trade between 1493 and 1490 and get 30 pips. That, for me, I'm not interested in that because I'm not a good enough trader and I don't have enough information in front of me to make that decision 8 times out of 10 to say that gold is going to drop now today because it's Thursday and it's going to drop from 1495 to 1490. And I know that, and if I did that trade 100 times, I'd be successful 80% of the time. That is my philosophy. So whenever you're looking at a position and you say, hey, this is a great position, take a step back and say, if I traded this exact position 10 or 20 times, how many times would I be successful trading this? Not just the one time that you do it, but how many times? Because what happens is when you journal your trades and you journal your wins, you're going to look for those opportunities again because you've journaled a winning entry and you've journaled a winning trade. So you're going to say, hey, this was a winning trade. But what you're going to find is over the time that you do 10, 20, 30, 40 trades, looking for that optimal, looking for that idea, that it doesn't work all the time. And what I mean is when you're trying to go against the overall trend. So it's just something to keep in mind. If you can do it, like I said, all the power to you. I always give out information or philosophy for the majority of people who just want to click buttons and say, hey, trend is up, I buy, trend is down, I sell. That is the information I give to the majority of people because that is the most simplistic way to attempt the market, and it's probably the highest rate of probability to win. And it doesn't matter, as you get better, you can counter trends, you can scalp the 5-minute chart, you can scalp the 15, you can do whatever you want. But if someone asks me how do I trade with the trend, because that is the simplistic way to look at the market. And for 80% of people that will not do the actual full work to understand the ebbs and flows of the market, it's just safer for them.
Oh, I like how GJ's going.
GJ is in the same position that it was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
If it breaks support, we're dropping all the way down to 128,400.
Yeah, same scenario. No.
Same scenario as yesterday. It's going right to those wicks that we went to.
Yeah.
So once it breaks, we should be on its way down. So probably around 128,760 would be probably a good idea to start looking. I missed GJ because it stopped me out on the push up on the 15, so I thought it was a fake out. Well, you should have looked at 3 other time frames and that probably would have given you your answer. Looking at just one time frame is not a proper way to trade. Entries are on one time frame. Analysis is done on 3 or 4 time frames. Your short time frames are used for entries. Your higher time frames are used for analysis. So right now, if I'm looking at the hour time frame on GJ as an example, I'm looking right now at GJ at support. But if I'm going to take an entry, I'm going to be looking at the 5-minute or 15-minute. I'm not using the 5-minute or 15-minute to place my stops, to turn around and say that the market's going a certain direction. I'm using the higher time frames, the 4-hour and the 1-hour and the daily time frames. And you can see right now with the daily time frame, it's a little bullish, I think, just a little bit. So if that candle flips bearish, we should fill the previous wick from yesterday.
Bearish for me.
Yeah, okay, so I'm just watching.
Bullish for me.
Yeah, it looks like it just has a tail at the top, which is good for rejection, so we might have a drop.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing too. If you were to trade this off the daily, what you would do is you'd place your stop at 129.396, and then you could place your take profit at 128.107 if you were to trade this off the daily. Because then what you would do is you would allow this whole candle to sort of run amok and do whatever it does, but when you wouldn't have to worry about getting stopped out. And if you did get stopped out with that candle, then you know that we're changing direction at that point. And with that, with looking at the daily candle, you can catch the entire move down at that point. So what Rakil has right now here on the daily, you can essentially do this. You could turn around and say, okay, this is my resistance, and then this is my take profit, and I'm going to fill this entire range here. This is what I'm getting. So when you map out, this is my risk, and then this is my reward, right? Because we know if we come back up here, we're moving back this way, but more than likely we're coming down here because the overall trend is bearish. So there's your opportunity as well if you want to take a longer position and hold it for a longer time. But once again, you have to realize that there is it's a bigger risk to reward because you're holding the trade based off the daily. So you can't go into the hour and be like, oh, the hour's bullish, I'm in trouble. It's like, no, you have to turn around and you have to wait for this whole daily to flip, and then you're in trouble essentially. Have you taken any trades yet, Ted? No, I haven't. I explained when I was looking to take a trade, and it was once GJ breaks that support. Because with GJ breaking support here, there's an opportunity to catch this entire range here. But keep in mind that just because it breaks support doesn't mean that it's an automatic sell. You have to wait to see how the candles form in this area here. What if this candle just drives right down right now? Then there's no trade. Sorry, you missed it, right? It's like we should have taken the trade up over here. How should we have known that? We should have been up an hour earlier, and that's where we should have had the entry. If this candle drives all the way down, it's going to be very hard for you to take an entry. You're going to have to look at the 15-minute, the 5-minute, and the 1-minute, but your stop loss will have to be either above here or it's going to have to be above here. And you're going to have to accept the fact that the candle in this area here could bounce around and do that before it goes down. and that is something that people need to understand as a trader, is if you're looking on the 30-minute time frame and you're watching this candle drop, maybe you have to then go into the shorter time frames and find an entry there, but you have to maintain your stop loss and your information over here. You still have to watch these time frames here. So you have to manage the trade a little bit more difficult if this candle decides to just drive down with no sort of break.
My buys on I have buys on GPCAD, if anyone's wondering. Was waiting for this to come down. 1 hour, it didn't break it. I mean, the 1 hour is bullish at support. This closed bullish. We got 2 bullish candles. Looking at the 4 hour, 4 hour has a wick fill. 4 hour respective support 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Daily, if it's moving bullish, daily has a wick to fill up over here. So based on that, we're gonna go with these. Buys. Hey, what are your thoughts on XAU USD? My thought is that there is a demand around 1492, and I could see it still ranging till 1550. You have, and that's an excellent demand. 1492. Oh, 1492. Yes, makes sense. Let me just do this. So yep, it's the same thing. This has support, demand, same thing. Some people are taking sells on gold because they think support is going to break before it has broken, so that's up to them. But some people are waiting. That's perfect. GPCAD looks like a 60 pip fill. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I mean, this is a, so if it heads up, this is a 50 pip range, right? So even if you can get maybe like 25, 20 pips out of this range, that's perfect. So like, you know, as Ted says that all candles have to form in your direction, right? So you look at the daily is bullish, 4 hour bullish, 1 hour bullish, 30-minute bullish, 15-minute bullish. So if candles are bullish, there's a high chance that it will continue moving bullish.
Nice call, Roger.
Thank you.
I'm in profits already. Oh, going up.
Yeah, it should continue.
Perfect.
Okay, DK subs. You just drop in.
Yeah, GJ's dropping. That's interesting because
14 pips.
GPCAD is moving up and GJ is dropping.
Yeah, makes me nervous.
EJ is also dropping. Damn, drop.
EG is probably going up.
The sell on EJ was so risky because it was that support. Someone took sells on gold at support. Look what happened. Gold bounced because it was at support.
Gold is just ranging. I don't see anything on gold. And GJ is just dying for blue.
I fucking missed the move, bro. Ah.
I was about to take that sell, but changed my mind because of you, Raja, and because of Uncle Ted. Nope. You did what you had to do. Like,
Oh,
you know-
that's the. I think he's talking about the gold trade.
Yeah, he's thinking about gold, not GJ.
Oh,
I think I.
He's not blaming you, he's thanking you.
oh, nice, perfect. Do you think GJ and GCAD divergence has anything to do with oil heading downhill? I think you need to go read some economics. If you look at oil, oil is US oil. So if you look at GJ and GCAD, both don't have anything in it which says US. So the answer is no.
We might get a little pullback right now on GJ. We'll get a better entry.
Hey Rasha, what's all this hum about? You whining and complaining you spent a year of free time of labor, love, and net compensation. That's awesome. What's
Yes.
all this hubbub?
Hubbub.
Oh, never mind.
Two GJ cells. Oh, very nice. Tuxman, yes, because I like it. I like the attention.
I'm going to take going to IML this Saturday.
Oof.
I can't. I was gonna go on Saturday too, but I got birthday parties to go. I got my niece's I have my niece's birthday party right in the middle of that, so I can't miss it. She's a year old. Otherwise, I would have been going to that thing. I was there. I was going to be their special guest.
How long should I hold EJ, man? Well, it depends how much you're trying to take out of this. Like, you know, if there's support at 118.560, if you believe it's going to come all the way down there, perfect.
Once again, when you enter a trade, before you enter the trade, you have to map out where you wish to take profit.
Yeah, because if you look at like this example, my wishing of taking profit is around, I'd say 61900. That's my wishing to take profit. But that's wishful thinking. Started trading since a couple of months, been profitable, but my emotions once trade goes downwards are just horrible. Any tips? Yes, if trade goes down, have a stop loss and always know what you're losing, and that should help you. Because I mean, when trade goes down and if you don't have a stop, it's just not good, because like then you think that, okay, you know what, it's going to go back up, then you start mapping out supports, and then, you know, after that just trades keeps going down and down, and you keep losing. It doesn't help anybody.
Ted, in terms of higher time frame analysis, you look at momentum and rejections. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, the idea is, once again, what I want. It's what I want to see, right? It's my idea. Like, I'm looking right now at GJ on the hourly, and I can see the hourly is just about to start to break support. So what I would do is I would say, okay, where is the potential first target with GJ on the hourly? And looking to the direct left, you know, we're coming into this, oh, this is a bad color. We're coming into this area here right now, but then my first target would probably be right around here, because this will map right into that. And then my next target will be most likely here because of this, this, and this, right? And then on my shorter time frames, I'm just watching the entry at that point. Right? And then depending on where this hour candle ends is before 8 a.m. is how I decide either to hold or to exit, right? Because yesterday we saw that, you know, you get out just before 8 a.m. or in the first couple minutes of 8 a.m. you get that little bit of a drop, and then we saw what happened afterwards. It rocketed right back the other way. So once again, understanding that idea, you now have a roadmap, and that's what people need when they're trading, is a roadmap to say, okay, where do I want to be at a certain point? As this trade continues, you know, I'm watching, you know, as we come to 7:30 in the next 10 minutes, is it time for me to exit? As we come to 7:45, is it time for me to exit? That is what you're looking at, and you're looking to say, hey, you know, you look at how do you manage your stop loss with GJ right now? Well, once again, you have to figure out, and you have to say, hey, if I'm entering here, where's my take profit? That's what you have to do first, is figure out where your target's going to be, and then say, if I'm managing that trade on the shorter time frame, maybe I have to look at the 5-minute time frames and say, hey, once we break a certain level, then that's where my stop loss has to be on the shorter time frame, because I don't have enough information right now on the higher time frame. From a standpoint right now, your stop loss should be right over here, but it's not good because this is your resistance area, which we could pop back up. But on the 15-minute time frame, your stop loss has to be probably just above that current 15-minute candle as it drives down. But understanding that if it's above that 15-minute candle, your stop loss is maybe 3 or 4 pips. So your take profit can only be 7 or 8 pips at this point, because when you start to look at this range, it's not that long. And this is the problem. People are going to hold it, trying to hold it longer, and that 15-minute candle may pull back after that and then get you stopped out. So you have to be aware of that. And if you're looking for a longer term trade, then obviously your target is right over here. So you have to map out that range. But as a trader, you should already know the tendencies of GJ, and you should already understand how fast GJ moves, and you should be able to make that determination and say, hey, I might have to extend my stop loss a bit here and take a bigger risk, because I know that GJ could start to fool around, and maybe I have to wait till 7:30 to see what happens on the 30-minute candle and what forms. Maybe the 30-minute candle drives right back into this area here, and then you get an optimal entry to continue further down, right? Or maybe you've just missed the move altogether, and you now know tomorrow or next week when I start trading GJ, I have to start looking at GJ at 6 o'clock in the morning an hour ago, or I have to start looking at it right at 7 a.m.
GCAT stopped me out at break even. Couldn't go with that. Yen will get weaker, GJ will go up a bit, like 300 pips. Nice. That's a great idea, since it's moving down. Forex black box.
Sean Lee with a withdrawal. That's good. He posited that account money in 1 week. I mean, I could flip an account from whatever and make a few $100,000 just on one account? What about next week and the week after that? one week of trading is nothing. Anyone could deposit $500 and make another $500 in 1 week. And I never worry about people doing withdrawals because it's not coming to my bank account.
Yeah.
Is GP CAD gonna rise? Question mark. I don't. I closed my positions at break even because I decided to do that. So if it rises, that's okay. If it goes down, that's okay. So now the point is, now you have to make a decision. If you're in GCAT buys, I mean, it's up to you if you want to close or hold, or if you want to let it hit stop loss or go back in profits. That's totally up to you. Because like when you close a position, you're consciously making a decision that you accept it. That if it goes up, it shouldn't bother you. If it goes down, it shouldn't bother you.
Ted, do you consider the previous 4-hour gold candle an inside bar to continue up? I don't know what that means.
I'm inside what?
Inside bar. I don't know what that stuff means. Sorry. I don't know any of the technical terms or any of the candle patterns. I don't know any of that stuff. So if you tell me stuff like that, it doesn't make any sense to me. I never learned any of that, nor did I care about that. Here's the thing. Anything that you do, if the masses are doing the same thing, then it's not the right thing to do. Because if it was easy just to do certain things and look at candle patterns and say, oh, this is like a bat pattern, or this is a moose pattern, or whatever it is, everyone could just sit there and trade all day and say, oh, look what I did, look at this, look at that, and it just doesn't make any sense. The idea is you have to figure out a way to trade that makes sense to you and that will help you be better at what you do.
Can you explain the GCAT trade, please? Because it's ranging on the 1 hour. You just explained it yourself. You explained it, that GCAT is ranging, and I agree with that. I thought it's gonna break out. It didn't, came down, so I closed my positions at break even.
I'm trying to learn, but I'm still stuck. Yeah, well, that's what will happen with trading. There's a lot of work to be done.
Someone tried to recruit me and
A lot of homework.
should I hold my GCAT buys?
Wow,
Just-
we got 400.
Let's just look at the chart here, right? So I took buys anticipating since it was bullish, it's going to continue up, but obviously it didn't go up, right? So now when you're looking for buys again, you're probably going to waiting for this resistance to break.
Hey Ted, how's your G chat looking like?
Say that one more time slower, please.
How is your GU chat looking like?
My GU chart, I'm not looking at GU, but I can look at it right now, and it looks like it's ranging on the hourly because it just pulled back again.
Yeah, you could see GBP pairs are pulling back a little.
there's no trade with GU right now. Because once again, we talked about this yesterday. Both
Yeah.
the pound and the dollar, the US dollar, are fundamentally weak. So there is a struggle for one to be stronger than the other. So when you have that conflict, it's very difficult to trade because that's where you get a ranging motion in the chart.
Fundamentally, one has to be stronger than the other, or weak. Yeah.
Correct.
Bingo.
GJ sales looking good.
That does look good. We shall wait to see how the next 30-minute candle opens, according to Raja Banks, and we will see what happens.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of rejection right now in this 15 minutes, but
Uncle Ted, what does it feel when you can buy anything you want? It feels great.
It's kind of the same thing when you go to a candy store and you're like, I can buy anything I want.
Yeah. But then you start to realize that there's a lot of things that you don't really care to have. My purchase yesterday was a Mike Tyson shirt from Roots of Fight. That's I was excited about that shirt.
that was so humble.
Was it like a vintage shirt?
Was it a
Yeah.
vintage or
It's
original?
yeah, it's the one on. I bought 3 of them. I bought 3 Mike Tyson T-shirts. That's it. It cost me $168 US plus $50 Canadian duty.
Oh, fuck.
Oh shit, that duty
Yeah.
would be fucked.
Yeah, yeah. That was my big purchase the other day.
At least you're happy.
Yep, I was, because I needed new T-shirts, so I got a couple of new T-shirts.
Yeah, so GJ broke the support at 128,800.
And you can start to look at entries maybe over here now.
Yes.
And then your stop loss will be wherever this candle finishes. Uncle Ted, when are you coming to London? When plane rides to London are less than 3 hours. Uncle Ted, are you a boxing fan? No, I just like the shirt.
Yeah, you cracking me up.
I should buy a car, Range Rover Sport or Tesla Model X or S. Well, I mean, depends on how accessible chargers are and if you want to drive an electric car or you want to still drive a gas vehicle. People work for a year to get the money you get in an hour. Yes, because I used to work and I understood that philosophy. But there's people that work what I get in an hour, they work for a couple minutes. So it's all relative, right?
I hate when people do comparisons like that.
There's always going to be someone ahead of you. Do you guys not have support at 128,655? Well, it's all in that area. I mean, if you want to say that there's support there, I tend to look at the rejections and where the rejections are.
This is exactly what happened yesterday too.
Yep.
Like, remember the 1 hour came down and it just
Yep.
dropping after that.
Tim Hortons wants to hire Uncle Ted. I don't like coffee, so I wouldn't work there. Ted, what's the most spontaneous purchase you've ever made? I don't know. The other day I bought like a cheeseburger. Just felt like a cheeseburger, so I got a cheeseburger.
Says to yes.
I don't know. I don't. I don't know. Like, I just sort of only buy things out of necessity. Like, if I'm hungry, I go eat. if I'm tired, I go to sleep. I'm sort of like Forrest Gump, right? Forrest Gump had a good mantra. He's like, I'm just gonna stop running now. I'm going home.
Where is Jenny?
So now you see on GJ, you see where you would have had your entry right here, and you see you could have your stop loss right over here, and your trade could continue to run.
My entry is at 128,720.
Mine is at 128,724.
Oh, that is an entry on you right there.
Oh, nice.
I took entries 128,724 on the.
Took entries at 128,909.
Is that Alex?
Can you guys hear the music?
128,794.
Can you
I
guys
feel
hear?
like we're like pulling out call signs. Like everyone's like, this is like the squadron leaders going into battle. I'm at 720, 610, 15, 14. Call of Duty right now with GJ. And then it's gonna rip right back up because everyone took cells.
No, don't say that.
Everyone's gonna get started with, oh, Ted, why? What happened?
Why?
Well, technically, right now you achieved what the target was. This fill. So you basically had a 1 pip risk and like how many pip gain? Like a 5 pip gain. Technically, that's a trade. I mean, if you think about it logically, you had a 1 to 5 risk to reward, and the trade took like 2 minutes. So I don't see a problem with that, to be honest.
That logic makes sense.
Everybody wants the glory because everybody wants to go down to here first and then eventually to here. There has been no retracement yet. Yeah, your retracement was on the 30-minute candle. This pullback right here was the retracement, or well, this area here. This should continue probably.
Why would you wait for 15 and 30-minute candle to close bearish while under the support for extra confluence? Well, it did close bearish under support. See this candle? Closed under the support. $120. See, the only reason I don't like this as much as I like the sales yesterday is because when you look left, it's approaching this
traffic.
this
traffic area.
bullshit area right here. So you know it
Yeah,
might.
I think once you get to that bottom area where you highlight a rekill, I think that's a good exit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can even see on like the smaller time frames, we're sort of struggling, but we'll see how the 5-minute candle just dropped, that last 5-minute candle, so we'll see how it sort of bounces around.
Can you guys hear the music?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like harmonic.
Oh yeah, nice.
I think if you get to 128,600, I think you've done a good trade with GJ. I think at this point, anyone who took an entry off the 30-minute candle should be in profit, and you should sort of be happy at that point. And it'll drop a little bit more.
Nice.
It'll drop a little bit more in the next 5 minutes. Oh, it already did. Sorry, because we're coming close to the 15-minute candle close, and that would be a good exit as well if you're looking at that, because it'll pull down a bit more. But you can already see we filled that wick. And then you can see now, this is when you're mapping out your trade, you'd say, okay, well, what's the next logical stop for GJ? It'd probably be right to that point there. Why? Because you can see, looking left, you have a whole bunch of candles. The bodies are right in that little area there, right? You can see, and what I'm looking at is I'm looking at to see where all the rejection points are. So when you get to this point here, or close to it, you could kill the trade and say, hey, I'm profitable. Because what happens is, and people make this mistake, is you're going to get into this section here and see all these rejection wicks, this candle can reject at any given time. So what you want to try and do is you want to try and just get to the body of the initial stops of rejection and then exit. So the closest body is this one right here. So that would be, you know, your first potential target, pushing through this top area and then saying, hey, maybe we get down to that point.
Yeah, that's 120. 550.
Alright, got my stops at break even. Because the last thing I want to do is to let this go in a loss.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done for the day. Feels good.
Raja, can see you through the window. Oh, I have blinds on. Let's see how our friend GP Cat is doing. Oh, see. Perfect close. Close right in time and goes down further. Yeah, I think GJ is going to do what I was afraid of.
Yeah.
Came down, gonna consolidate here, and then for rest of New York, potential down here. So this candle close is key.
Yes, very key.
The one important thing is to not to get attached to that one trade. Like, let's say if you take a sell, price retraces, it gets stopped out, then you enter again, price retraces, gets stopped out, you enter again, price retraces. That's called like really marrying that trade. So once you get stopped out, you just gotta like wait for the candle to close, just chill out, relax, you know, eat a watermelon or whatever, and then just like reevaluate that. Okay, it's rejecting, maybe it broke support, might do a retest, you know, so you might want to wait till maybe 8 a.m. like NY open or equities open. Waiting is gonna solve a lot of issues. Oh, you guys can't see the screen.
It's not that you had to see the screen to hear his explanation.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's what everyone cared about, seeing the screen, not hearing what he had to say.
Has the spread on GJ has increased? No.
No. Same as it always is. He wasn't talking about the charts, actually. He was just talking about about marrying a trade. So I did get off my high horse. That's the only reason I made that comment. People think that I don't pay attention or something like that. I think you need a rest day. What's a rest day? God, people are a bunch of snowflakes. They get so angry.
Print of your trade. Send a link. Oh, you can't send a link. So when you try to send a link, send this last code on TradingView. This one right here.
So Ted, what football, soccer team do you support? I don't really support any teams. They don't support me. Why would I support them? I enjoy watching basketball because I used to play basketball, but that's about it.
It's really funny when people call you Uncle Ted. I just laugh. It's
know.
really funny to me.
It is.
It's like I'm like the grandfather of trading or something. My God, this is the best free education on the internet, period. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take much to beat the rest of the education on the internet. I mean, I don't want to toot our own horns, but I mean, you know, there's a lot of the information on the internet is not exactly the greatest. Considering half the people that are on the internet spewing out information don't even trade regularly, so.
Like Wikipedia.
I don't even think it's like the MLM stuff. It's just all the other people, right? Like everyone's like the only people DM me every day, and I should actually create a troll account about this. Is people DM me and they'll say, "Ted, I need help trading," and then in their in their bio and on their IG page is, "Hey, I mentor people and I give out signals."
They have trading courses.
Yeah, I have trading courses as well.
And they charge about 150 an hour. For money account.
When will you be at a point where taking investments is a good idea to do for trading purposes? I don't understand that question. Then that I legitimately don't understand. When will you be at a point when where taking investments is a good idea for trading purposes? Are you saying like taking a loan to trade? Like I'm confused about that. Like, all right. So if you're in GJ still, you have your opportunity to close right now, or you have your opportunity to continue to hold the entry. But remember, our first target is right over here. Okay. So keep that in mind. You've already cleared the initial idea, which was this little piece here. And the full idea is going down to this here. But now you can see the struggle that we had in the last couple of minutes with the candles. So just keep that in mind, and you've been given a second birth to leave the market if you're not comfortable. If you're still comfortable, your stop loss obviously is still here, and you're just hanging out. Oh, taking money from an investor. Yeah, I think you should probably at least have a decent win rate, and also you should be comfortable trading. I think it's very difficult to take money from investors if you're not comfortable trading, and that's something you should look at. At what point do you advise putting your stop loss into profit? Well, it's what your comfort level is with the current trade. At this point, I explained to people, some people could already take profit. Like you could have just taken profit like 2 minutes ago, and you would have had essentially, let me map it out on my chart here. You would have had basically, 10 pips at that point, 8 pips with spread. So you would have had that completed. Ted, do you use Fibonacci? No. What do you feel when you close your position and the candle is still moving in your direction? I feel that I did a great job because I was right, and I was more right because the market is still trending in that direction. So I feel good. After a mass adoption of cryptocurrency, will we dump gold? Sure. Actually, how long did it take you to start seeing profits from trading and becoming more consistent? Not very long. It took me a couple months. Ted, why are you saying your stop should be above the 30-minute candle, not the previous? Because of my target. If I put it above the previous 30-minute, then my target has to be wider and my stop loss has to be wider. So therefore, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to have that trade. Ted, has MT5 improved on mobile in your opinion? Not really. I don't trust any mobile device applications anymore, really. I trade only from my charts or from my desktop. How can we connect to the Zoom chat? You can based on joining Market Fluidity with Rakil, and he will give you access to the Zoom chat if you feel that you need to be on the other side of YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing different.
Yeah, like you're not missing much being on this side. There's, we're just hanging out.
Just chilling.
Yeah, now that I look at it, now that I look at the charts, GJ the main move was missed on GJ. EJ also missed. GB CAD ranging. GU also missed.
I'll see how the next few minutes go with GJ. I think we might get a little bit of that scramble towards the 8 o'clock open. And maybe that'll push to the target. We usually get this little scramble where it's like, we gotta go. But if we break this, if we break here, my finger will be on the trigger to close at any given time, because we're coming close to the end of the hour, and we know that this push, this spike down, is going to be an impulse. Because if this is actually a very hard support area, if this area is very hard support, then the next hour candle will drop, and then it'll just do that afterwards. So just something to be mindful of. But you should be watching GJ if you're in that trade right now. You should be watching it very carefully, and you should be monitoring where your targets are, because it could hit that very quick. How do you know when the chart you are looking at has reliable candle closures and structure based off of? I don't really understand that question either. How do you know the chart you're looking at has that's very difficult to understand that question, because I don't know what the theory is behind reliability. Are you looking to see that the candle still closes on the half hour exactly? That's always going to happen. The broker controls that, or the market controls that. Reliability higher time frames always give you better opportunity.
I think
that's what you're looking for.
What he means is that what's how do you know that the trade is going to be 100% is going to go your way based on the candles?
Fuck. Well, let me look at my crystal ball.
Trust me, if we knew that, trading would be so easy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's dropped.
Yeah, so there's your drop. GJ is starting to move now.
Do you think?
And this drop coincides with the end of the hour close, so be aware that you could get a huge pullback on the 5 minute, but you should be looking to take profit because we've been moving a little slow. Or you can move your stop loss into profits now and just hold the trade for the next hour and see what happens. We did this 5 minute candle to dumpy dump. It should, because this consolidated and now this is breaking down. Well, we'll see.
Gold ripping up.
Ted, can we buy gold after it breaks 501 resistance? You can buy gold at any time. You have to determine what your trading plan is.
Yeah, I have to switch to standard music because YouTube gave me warnings, 2 warnings.
Warning.
Not sure to phrase this question, so I'm just gonna try to wing it. But as far as stop, advancing your stops to get your break even, and then maybe locking in some profit. Is that something that you do, or you just advance it to break even and kind of leave it there? And if you do advance it to lock in profits more and more as the trade progresses, what charts do you tend to look at for that?
Well, that's a loaded question. So you have multiple variables. The first variable is you have to understand where you are in the market as a general, right? So right now we're really early in the market because the USA session hasn't opened yet. So you know that these pushes right now that we're in could technically be just setups for things to go the opposite way, right? So if you think logically, this GJ drop could be the drop just then to start us to then pull back to go up the rest of the day. There's a possibility. I don't say that it could happen, but it is a possibility. So you would be placing your stop here to protect whatever gains you have on the basis that you may be afraid that the market is going to flip one because we are in before the pre-New York section. The next idea behind placing stop losses is where the market is trending and you are now grabbing profits at that point. So if I believe that the market is trending, we have 15-minute candles, right? So say, for example, you took an entry over here, right? This was your entry. So your stop loss could technically be right above that candle, because the idea is if the market is going to trend down, you know that these candles should then start dropping, right? And it's struggling right now. If this candle drops to here as an example, right? So this candle here suddenly in the next 2 minutes drops. You could then start to move your stop loss to the next 15-minute candle, knowing that this current candle that opens at 8 a.m. may just create a wick and then continue further down. The idea is you're looking at where each rejection happens in the market and how comfortable are you with that rejection, because there's going to be a lot of times, like say for example here, right, if we look at I'll map out this section here. Say for example we map out this section here, right, and you say, okay, my initial entry was right here, right? This was my entry. I got a perfect entry. We drop, and then I can see that this candle now has formed and it's dropped into here. It's safe to say that more than likely we're not going to come back up to this level here, and if we are, then we're going to have to, the trend has changed. So what I can do is I can then automatically say, okay, my stop loss can be here. Once this breaks down further, then I can move my stop loss down to here. And what you've done is you've incrementally started moving it in that way, because the idea is you're saying, hey, this should now form another low, and then that is going to drop further down to my target. So you can do that. And then what you're doing is these stop losses, you also have to validate them on the higher time frames, because you don't want to put a stop loss on a 15-minute candle if it's in the middle of an hour candle and the new hour candle's forming, right? So you sort of want to try to match up, say, this group of candles. Like if you know that this 15-minute candle is the start of the hour candle or the start of the half-hour candle, then you know that this stop over here is probably a good stop, because if you look on your hour chart, your stop loss would be above the current hour candle, right? You don't want to put it in a 15-minute candle that's in the middle, because there's a point where it could possibly pull all the way back again and then you're stuck. So you have to sort of do a little bit of homework and say, okay, where is this candle in relation to my other candles, so to speak. So hopefully that helps a bit.
That's actually very helpful, thank you.
No problem.
GJ in my entry.
5-minute support formed on GP CAD. That does not matter because GP CAD is ranging. 5-minute support. You talk about 5-minute support. What about the 15-minute and the 30-minute and the 1 hour? What about resistance? See this goat shit? This is goat shit. So if you take a trade right now on GPCAD, it's like stepping in goat shit. No one likes it, you get it on your shoe. Oh, someone actually sent a chart. Let's take a look at this chart. Gold, see that wick? I wonder how many people took buys on gold right over here. Or right here. Really have to wait.
Which parts? What is it?
And oh, here's someone's chart. What's this? Gold. I'm at break even, but what do you think about the trade on gold? I think it's. This is the 1 hour. Yeah, the 1 hour candle is about to close. The 1 hour candle is about to close, so you're expecting the next candle to continue moving up. And I mean, if you're expecting gold to move up, it should come up to 1502. But it's just gotta break out of this massive consolidation of debt. Look at this consolidation. Let's zoom in here a little bit. So, you know, you map this area out here, like this, we do like this. See this mess? Support, resistance, like all garbage. And I mean, if you do take buys, your stop is going to be below support right over here. So you have a big stop. Hey, it's a 43 pip stop.
Gold shit.
Gold shit.
Ain't trading that.
Please tell me single where I can enter. You can enter anywhere you want.
Tell me single.
See, now the 30-minute closed with a big wick. So this is, I would say this is like a rejection. And when you look left, you see this area here. You see this consolidation? So 30-minute was consolidating here, right? So this, if the 30-minute is consolidating here, this acts like a trampoline, this area.
Yep. Agreed. And if you are looking right now and you're still in the trade, this is going to be your second opportunity to get out, because this is going to wick down, and then if it trampolines off and bounces, it's going back up. So watch this area very carefully, because now you're getting a second chance to exit in profits or to exit above stop or above break even. So if you're uncomfortable with this trade, you should be leaving. Keep that in mind. Don't fall for the, oh look, GJ is going to drop now to the bottom. Your idea right now is, hey, we haven't broken this, and we're rejecting. So if it does bounce to here, take your exit. If you're not comfortable with the trade, if you are, you have a greater potential of having a stop loss hit. So you have to understand that as well.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side of the coin, realistically, it can drop, but if you're being logical, if I'm being logical, like my logical thinking says that, okay, Raja, just wait for price to, it broke support, so wait for price to come up here, create a resistance before going down.
Yeah, we got that for sure.
That's what my logical idea says, so I'm going to stick with that.
My logical idea says it's still going to drop here, but I closed. So that was my logical idea. I did not like the way it was forming, so I followed my own advice and just closed. Because we just got grace right here with the close. With the new hour candle. Chance maybe it'll dump, and then I'm watching a 5-minute candle and it looks like it might dump, but we'll see.
GU has a new 1 hour candle.
Every chart has a new 1 hour candle.
Oh wow, I think we're doing something good here. 500 people watching today.
Yeah.
505.
What are the chances for the current candle and GJ to fill the wick? Well, we just explained that. Ted, can I send you a photo of my positions on Instagram? I want to show you what you guys have taught me. Well, how about you just say what we've taught you? You don't have to show me photos. I mean, this is not like a family vacation. Like, I'm happy that like you did well. Like, it's just, I mean, I want to be realistic. Like, when you send me pictures of charts, that's like people send me pictures of cats. Wow, that's a nice cat. Like, I mean, if you were successful in the trade, I'm supremely happy for you. Like, don't mistake my demeanor as like, you know, Ted just doesn't care. Ted cares, but Ted is over the fact that people can win trades, because I know you can win a trade. Like that's sort of what I believe in my heart, that everyone, if they work, they should be able to win a trade. So you shouldn't be surprised that you won a trade, nor should you be surprised you're winning trades by just working here every day with us or asking questions. Like, don't take that as a shock, because what you're doing is you're degrading yourself. You're essentially telling me that if it wasn't for you, Ted, I'd be an idiot, and that's not fair. You shouldn't be an idiot, and I shouldn't be the one to make you a non-idiot just because I'm not an idiot anymore. So like, that's how I feel. So like, don't take what I say as like rejection or negativity. It's more of like, I know you're smart. It's just sometimes you just need a kick in the ass to realize that you are smart. And I tend to learn that over the last few years, that some people have potential and they just need someone to kick them in the ass in the right direction. I never understood it, but now over the last couple of years, I've understood it, that people realize that, you know, sometimes you just need that guy sitting beside you saying, hey, you can do this, and suddenly you can do it. Where you probably could have done it without me if you just worked with it.
Yeah, because it has someone to kick your balls.
Yeah.
Was a good decision. Closing.
Yep. Rakeel and I, well, Rakeel called it. I just sort of agreed with him. Yeah. Because the 8 o'clock hour, because of the New York Open, there's always going to be that huge push.
Now can I buy GJ? Vijesh Kumar? No, man. Why would you want to buy GJ? GJ is approaching the broken support. Oh, Vijesh Kumar Joshi? Come on.
Whenever I see names like that, I always think of the Big Bang Theory with what's his name?
Raj?
Yeah, Raj. And I always think it's like some scientist asking me questions because they have like 4 names attached to their like on the screen. So I always try and be a little bit more polite, because he's probably like dissecting the charts to like the 1 minute.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's just, that's sort of like, you know, I always try and assign a personality to just like all